I am your host, Lia Dunlap, and you are listening to the Oracle on Purpose podcast, where we help intentional leaders clarify their purpose and next steps to create a work and life of significance.
Hey friends, I have a little known secret. No one is going to follow your joy for you. No one. No one cares more about your joy than you do. What's subsequently interesting is we spend so much time comparing ourselves to others, to their version of their joy, that we completely miss out on our own. Because the one thing I know for sure, after somebody asked me today, how long have you been doing this? I had to think about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, 28 years. This year, I will have been working for clients and helping them to discover their purpose and follow their own bliss for 28 years. Now, of course, all of those years haven't been 100% full time. I say that because it took me a long time to get off that parallel path of working and being in the corporate world and being responsible to others, right? To have that vision of success that my friends and my family thought was ultimately what brought us joy, right? The ultimate version of the story of success. So after, I answered this person's question, I thought about that. Like so many years that I spent following someone else's version of joy. What the heck? I'm not alone. And here's the thing that's really interesting about that. Got all the dogs excited. Is that when we follow our own joy, it really is unique to us. And it's what we're meant to do. It feels the most natural once we understand what it is. And that may be the caveat. Once we stop comparing ourselves, our version of success, to someone else's external version of success, right? Their finished product, if you will. Right? Think about that. We are comparing ourselves to someone else's finished product. So not only are we not comparing ourselves to their journey per se, but we're actually looking at the finished product and thinking, I want that. Because that over there is clearly what success is, what joy really is. They look happy. Unbeknownst to us, all the sleepless nights or, 24-hour days, the no sleep till Brooklyn experiences of pushing through launches or whatever other story that they had to get there. We see the end product, compare their shiny faces in the social media screen to our internal struggle, right? Our internal journey, dark night of the soul, and think, that's success. That's what I need. That's what I need to go chase. And we do it from that end product version. When all along, we could be following our own joy. I had a client recently in a group call, and this was the story that she had been playing for a long time. And what's interesting is from the outside, other people are actually aspiring to be her. They're aspiring to have the journey, the expression that she's showing outside to everyone else. They're like, oh my gosh, your life is amazing. It's incredible. You're doing all these things. And internally, she's having this conversation about struggling against this concept of enumerated success. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The 6-figure, the $10,000 months, whatever. Put the number where you want it, the 7-digit, the 7 comma clubs, whatever the number is. That it's an external. And it doesn't guarantee you joy. But I promise you, if you follow your joy, you'll find it. If you follow your joy, you will find it. And when you do, it's priceless. It's priceless because it's what your entire system vibrates on. the energetics, which I'm always sharing with you, and all of my other clients, right? If you don't know me and you've somehow managed to pop through and see me on your screen, let me introduce myself. I am Lia Dunlap. I'm also known as the Oracle on Purpose. I am an intuitive guide. I work with incredible women business leaders and entrepreneurs to help them find that purpose, that purity of purpose and alignment to what they're really meant to deliver in the world so that they can actually live a life that is full of joy, full of delight, full of prosperity, by the way. Many of my clients have gone, reached levels of millions and multiple millions of dollars in revenue. And that's just now the cherry on the cake, which is a wonderful place to be able to support and share this information and these skills that I have to help them do that. So I wanted to take a moment. Thank you. Danielle, my hair looks amazing. This is it, right? This was my joy today. My joy was to go get my hair straightened. So yes, got my hairs done. I'm loving it. I've got that flip thing going on now. I realized as I was just on the call. So yeah, I don't do this that often actually. So thank you, because that's a really good example. It brings me joy. But when I follow my joy, I also get to be in this state. And the state that you're in when you're in joy is really magnetic because you're vibrating at this really nice level. People are attracted to you. And, as the hairstylist is talking to me and I'm sharing about what I do, I'm talking about what I do. And I get to let people know about, for example, the Master Creators Alchemy Retreat that's coming up in Scotland. And I'm vibrating it and I'm sharing it in such a delightful way that it is magnetic. Got it? So following your joy is not just something to do as a distraction. It's really a way to keep your system running at optimal. It's the way to show up in the world with delight and energy. And people are like, ooh, yeah, I want some of that, right? And then you get to connect to people. One of the hardest things that some of my clients struggle with, especially when they're just starting out, is this how do I find clients? How do I get more clients or whatever? Like they get in that frame of mind. And it's like, talk to people. Talking to people. We try to find, like so many times, especially now with social media as a big part of our marketing campaigns, we tend to forget like the number one way to get a new client is to talk to them. And right, talking to people. But if we're doing it from a place of desperation or, really clinging to like hopeful anticipation of like getting a deal, then it's less likely, right? Less likely, not impossible, less likely to really have those interactions the way we want them to be. However, if we are filled up doing our joy and living our lives from that place, then we're already magnetizing people to talk to us and want to know about us. And what do we want to tell them about? What we're doing, who we are, what we're up to. And by that expression, at that vibration, we open doors that previously might have seemed shut. So why do we want to follow our joy? Because everything springs from our joy. Every good thing, think about it in your own life, every good thing has been surrounded with joy of some sort. So yeah, today my following my joy was like, I want to go get my hair done. And so I did. And then I started talking about what I was doing. And, there's all this energy now that's moving in me that's coming through the screen, hopefully for you. And no matter what, everyone is better off for that. The world could use more joy. Think about it. So I wanted to share that with you because I think it's really important that we know and honor that what you're looking for and who you are is so much better served, and the world is better served when you're following your joy and not comparing your journey, your internal dark night and your struggle and your challenge, or your even just your standard everyday journey to someone's finished product that you're seeing online, because that truly is a thief of joy. All right, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. I'm Lia Dunlap. I'm known as the Oracle on Purpose, And I want you to remember that being here and being in your joy is in alignment to your purpose. All right, have a good one. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Oracle on Purpose show. If you found value in this episode, we'd appreciate you leaving a comment. Also, you can subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't yet. If you'd like to get clear on your highest vision and next steps, go to oracleonpurpose.com. See you next week.